I'm back in the office of Nicola Magrath. Nicola is a solicitor with Andrew Isaacs Law, and she's based in the Pera Business Park here in Melton. I haven't been here for a little while, Nicola, so how are you?
Hi Christine, thank you for having me again. I'm very well, thank you. Things are going great. We've actually just had our 2nd year anniversary, Andrew Isaacs Law in Melton, Mowbray. Obviously it's still a very new business in the area, but I'm very positive about the future.
And you deal mainly with family law, don't you?
Yes, so it's family law, which is divorce, financial arrangements, any disputes over children, also talata cases, so if you are unmarried but you have a dispute over property as well.
And what kind of cases have you been dealing with lately, mostly?
There's a good mix actually at the minute. So there is some divorce cases, a lot of financial cases, again some children cases, and there is some talata cases as well. So a good range of cases for me to keep me busy.
If someone's getting a divorce, what kind of paperwork and so on do you need to start an application?
So what we would ask for from the client is we'd need to have their marriage certificate. We would also need to know all of their details, their contact details, how long they've been married, the date of the marriage, the place of the marriage, and also their spouse's details as well, because they would obviously need to be notified of the divorce application.
If someone's getting a divorce, how much does it cost?
So the divorce, this can vary. The cost of the court fee is £593, and this is the fee that you will have to pay regardless to start the application for the divorce. Then it depends on the solicitor as to what they charge for the actual divorce work. Here at Andrew Isaacs Law Limited, we are actually offering a fixed fee for the divorce now, so if that is something of interest to you, then please get in touch.
We've had a question from a listener. I'm in the process of divorcing my husband. Do I have the right to claim half of his pension?
So the starting point is that anything that's classed as a maritable asset will be put into what we say a pot, and the starting point is 50-50 split of these assets. This is just a starting point because obviously there are other things to be taken into consideration as to whether this sharing should be altered. But this would include pensions, so there is a chance that you could be entitled to up to 50% of the pension.
Is that the state pension, or is that a private pension that refers to?
This is mainly private pensions, but sometimes state pensions can be considered as well.
If somebody's in the midst of a divorce, when it's finalised, will that also settle all the financial matters?
So what is a common misconception for a lot of people is that if you start the divorce process and obtain a divorce, then that automatically sorted out your finances as well. Unfortunately, that is not the case. You would also need to resolve your finances and obtain what's called a financial consent order to ensure that anything that has been agreed for the finances is in a legally binding document, and this will prevent any future claims from each of you. And this is something that Andrew Isaacs Law Limited we can help you with.
If the financial situation of one of the partners dramatically changes in the years after the divorce, can the other party still have a claim on that? For instance, if somebody suddenly wins the lottery.
So it really depends on the status of the parties. If they're already divorced and they've got their financial consent order in place, then no, there will be no future claims. However, if the finances have not been resolved and there is no legally binding financial order in place, then there is a possibility that the other party could have some of the lottery winnings if this is the situation. It would all depend on the maritable assets available to consider and whether the needs are met. If not, then they could consider the lottery winnings as well.
The presence of children makes things rather more complicated, doesn't it, Nicola? Because there are all kinds of issues that can arise. For instance, we had a question from another listener. Is it within my ex-partner's rights to dictate who I spend time with when our child is in my care?
So yes, when you separate and there are children involved, this can be a distressing time for all all of you, including the children, and you want to try and obviously reach an agreement so the children's best interests are always at the forefront. So if you do start to spend time with other people when it is your turn to have the children, then it is your decision who you spend time with, and it is not for the ex-partner to say whether you can or can't spend time with another person. However, you've always got to make sure that the children that are in your care at the time are safe, and there's no risks or of harm or safeguarding issues whilst being around another person. If this isn't the case, then there's no reason why you can't spend time with somebody else whilst being with your children. It is important to note, though, that just to bear in mind the other partner's feelings in this, just maybe make them aware of it, and just try to keep it as amicable as possible if you can, just because obviously you need to have this relationship with the other parent, if possible, to keep the arrangements continuing and what's best for the children.
Another question in this kind of area. I'm currently separated, and although a child arrangements order is in place, the father of my child is not adhering to the agreed terms. What steps can I take?
So, first of all, I would contact the father and just see if there's a reason why he's not adhering to the child arrangements order. It could be a simple explanation, it could be a one-off, it could be for any reason. So I would try and ascertain that first of all. If it is a one-off and things can be rectified, then nothing further will need to be done, and hopefully the arrangements in the order can continue. If for some reason the parent isn't abiding to the order and is continuing to not do so, then you would be looking to make an application to the court to enforce the child arrangements order, and this is something that we can help you with and advise you on.
What would a child arrangements order contain?
So this would contain all of the arrangements for the children, such as which parent a child lives with. It could be one parent, it could be a shared arrangement, so it could be that they live with both parents, who they would spend time with, what days, what times, the place of where the pick-up location, drop-off location would be, arrangements including holidays, Christmas, birthdays, Mother's Days, Father's Days. So we try to include as much as you can in the order, just so that you don't have to go back to court again.
So it may be the father of the child wants to spend more time with the child, or for various reasons doesn't want to spend as much time with the child as originally agreed. Would that sort of thing be covered?
So when there's a child arrangements order in place, usually that's been through the court, so where the court has made the decision, they've considered all of the issues, they've considered both parties' wishes, and they've made a decision based on that information. And also there's a government body called CAFCAS, who is an advisory service to the court, and they would help the court and advise them on what they think is best for the children involved in that case. So that process would have already been followed before this child arrangements order would have been in place. So I would have thought the court would have taken the wishes and feelings of the parties into consideration when making this order.
Circumstances can change, can't they, over time? Is there any scope for making changes to the order if circumstances change?
Yes, so changes to the order can be made by agreement between both parents involved, the parties involved, or one of them could apply to the court to ask for the arrangements order to be changed, and then it would be up to the court to decide if that can be changed or not. But it really would need to be quite a significant reason for the order to be changed.
For instance, say the father might get a new job that's the other end of the country, and he'd find it difficult to then spend time with the child.
That's a possibility. Again, if that's the case, then he would need to speak to the other parent, to see if an agreement can be reached to amend the child arrangements order and the arrangements, or he would have to apply to court to vary the child arrangements order.
Would they come back to you on matters like that?
Yes, we have clients in the past that have instructed us initially and then come back to us at a later stage to help them again. This is not uncommon, and we're always happy to help our clients at any point.
So, Nicola, I know you're very involved with the Rotary Club of Melton Mowbray, and we did come to your event that you organised, the International Women's Day. And do you think you'll be holding that again?
Oh, absolutely. It went so much better than I expected it would. So, yes, we are aiming to have this as a yearly event now. So, in March next year, I'm hoping to host an International Women's Day event as well. I've also recently set up a Women in Business Rotary group, and we meet once a month on a Tuesday evening. So, if there's any females in the area that are interested in finding out a bit more, then do not hesitate to contact me.
Where does that take place?
It takes place at Soy Restaurant in Melton Mowbray, one Tuesday evening a month. We have a get-together, we have, just a chat, getting to know each other. We talk about our businesses and how we can support each other. And then we're also going to look at projects to help the local community as well and local businesses. And that is our aim for the future.
That's a great idea, Nicola. Well, thank you very much for talking with me at 103 The Eye today.
Thank you for having me. It's great seeing you again, Christine. And if any of your listeners need any help with divorce, finances, children matters, then contact our offices on 01664 896 218.
Thanks very much. I've been chatting with Nicola Magrath, and she's a solicitor at Andrew Isaacs Law, based at the Pera Business Park here in Melton.